on concerns that Walmart's push into its neighborhood food market stores in California could really be detrimental to Safeway, which has a large bunch of stores in California, as well as those rising gas prices. We know they're high out there out west. Carl, back to you.
All right, Court, thanks so much. OnDeck is a technology-powered Main Street lender, and today it announced that it secured nearly $100 million in new debt commitments, $80 million of it coming from Goldman and Fortress Credit Group. Joining us here at Post 9, Noah Breslow is the CEO of OnDeck Capital. Good to see you this morning, Noah. Welcome.
Hey, thanks for having us, Carl.
Before we get into the specifics of the commitment, explain what OnDeck is and how it's sort of changing the way small businesses get financing.
Absolutely. OnDeck is a technology-enabled lender, as you mentioned. A business owner can come to our website and on a Monday and ask for a loan and actually have up to $150,000 in their account by Tuesday. So we're making the process fast and frictionless for small business owners across America.
And in that, it's allowing them to see things that you wouldn't ordinarily get to see if you were applying for a loan, right?
That's right. So we've integrated with dozens of different online data sources that have become available over the last 10 to 15 years to make a holistic determination about the business's creditworthiness in a very, very efficient and fast process.
Does that mean credit scores are meaningless, or are they still a component, a part of that?
They're still a component, but what we've really tried to do is get a grasp of business fundamentals. So we're able to approve many, many businesses that are very healthy and traditionally overlooked by banks.
So a metric that you would look at besides credit score might be
cash flow, might be public records, might be things like social data even. So really, it's a wide swath of data. What we've found over the years, we've actually deployed nearly $300 million to these businesses over the last 5 years. We found that no single data point alone explains performance, but when you look at the combination of them, you really get an amazing result.
So it's not as simple as saying I might have a better chance going to you guys than to a traditional lender?
For many businesses, it would be true for that, but actually there are a lot of businesses that can go to traditional lenders that choose us because we're fast and convenient.
Yeah. What's the market like right now? I mean, to what degree are small businesses anxious for funding? We hear so much about uncertainty, unwillingness to commit to expansion, to hiring. Is that what you're seeing?
We actually have a really ground level view of what's going on in the economy right now, and what's really fascinating is, 3 years ago when the economic environment deteriorated, we saw very few businesses coming to us for purposes of expansion. But today that number has actually doubled in the last sort of 12, 18 months. So now many more business owners are optimistic. They're using our loans. They're growing their businesses. They're taking advantage of opportunities.
Really? Are you able to see whether or not they are securing the credit for safety's sake, for a safety net, or are they actually putting that capital to work?
Because of our technology, we really have a nice pulse on the cash flow of these businesses. So what's interesting is just 90 days after taking an OnDeck loan, the average business grows its revenues by 24%.
In 90 days?
In 90 days. And so what's a great example of this would be, think about an auto parts store in the New York area. They got an amazing deal on wiper blades from one of their suppliers. Without working capital, they can't buy the inventory to then mark up and sell it retail. But if they have fast access to working capital, they can take advantage of that situation.
Interesting. As far as your own business, talk about your own growth prospects. What does the debt commitment mean? How fast are you expanding?
It's been a pretty exciting time at OnDeck. We had been growing about 100% year over year, which is an amazing clip for any kind of company. In the last 4 months alone, though, we've grown another 50%. So the new debt commitment is really about fueling that growth for us and allowing us to sort of take things to the next level.
Is the eventual plan to be bought, to go public? Have you thought that far in advance?
We believe we have the components of what could be a publicly traded company someday. We're excited about that, but for now, the focus is really on just growing the business, getting the word out there through great shows like this.
Yeah, well, with Goldman and Fortress on your side, that's another arrow with your quiver.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much, Noah.
Thanks so much for having us, Carl. Appreciate it.
Noah Breslow, the CEO of OnDeck Capital. Bells are about to sound all across Europe. We'll get the close over there and details on how it might affect us here on a Thursday morning when Squawk on the Street comes right back.